Have you ever wanted to confuse your enemy by aiming at their chest and hitting them in the sausage and biscuits? Then you should buy a riser. Stop, that's my purse. I don't know you. No more kids for you. What is up, guys? My name is Jesse and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about why there's so many planes flying around me. Today, we're going to be talking about not only height over bore, but your zero at distance. Now, I'm going to say right now, I am not the person to be listening to with this. I honestly just had this idea because I have this riser in Eotech, and I wanted to see what it was like from zeroing my rifle to seeing where my holds are and seeing where bullet impacts hit at certain distances. Now, risers have become popular in the past couple of years, and there are a ton of companies making them. This one right here is a Unity fast riser with an Eotech EXPS3, and then this one is one of Reptilla's taller mounts, the 1.93 with a primary arms T2 style optic on top. Now, what's crazy about these two is they're actually the same distance height over bore. It's about 3.5 inches for both of these optic and risers. Now, there are so many variables when it comes to this testing. I've tried to mitigate as many variables as possible. That's why I am using this 2Vets tripod. I'll get to them in a minute. But there are other variables as far as grain weight, your barrel length, the barometric pressure, humidity, wind, which I wasn't supposed to have today, but I do, suppressed, unsuppressed. There are so many different variables, but I tried to mitigate as many as possible. As you can see here, I did zero this rifle and confirmed my zero at 25 yards with these glasses on to try and mitigate or have the same refraction, if any, with these glasses, my eyes looking through different panes of glass. Now for ammo today, I am using Federal Premium 69 grain, Sierra Gold Metal Match. Now again, I don't normally shoot this ammo. It was just some of the best ammo I could find in somewhat of a decent amount to do this video, but at least it is the same consistent ammo so I can try and get consistent shots. Now again, the variables are going to differ from your gun to mine. If you have not seen the video on this gun, I will leave it linked somewhere, either down in the description or up in whatever corner it goes in. But let me go over this gun right now so you have a little bit more information on it. Now this is my 1395 Roscoe 5.56 1-in-7 twist mid-length gas system Greenlight tactical barrel. Has Roscoe's gas system on this as well, pin and welded to a long Huxworks flash hider. Now for you, I don't know what you're running, I don't know what ammo you're running, optics, risers, whatever. If you have something similar to this, then maybe you'll have similar results. But I encourage you to go check your height over bore, because when running risers, it is something that you really need to know, especially if something was to ever happen. You need to know what your holds are. And that's kind of what this video is about. This 2Vets tripod right here is their Recon V2. Now 2Vets sent me this tripod. They did not pay me any money for this video or to say anything about this, but I do want to show them some love because they were interested in this video, and I appreciate them for sending me the tripod. Now this is a Now this is a fiberglass tripod. It is very light for how big it is, and to me, I love that. They sent me their 55mm head, and I love the knobs on this head. This video is getting very weird. They have two knobs over here that is going to adjust your spin of the tripod as well as the up and down. And then this massive knob on the other side is used for the ball itself. And I love how big this knob is because it gets a good grip, get some good torque on it to torque it down if you want to stop the movement, and to move it if you want to move around your gun or whatever you're doing. They also sent me the Area 419 Arca rail, and honestly, I love how small this rail is for what I can do with it. They do also make bigger rails for longer guns if you want to position this tripod wherever you want. Going down the tripod, it does have very big rubber grips to extend the tripod wherever you want, and it also has giant rubber bottoms on the legs, which I really like because it gets it very stable and gets it to where you need to put it, and it's not going anywhere. And obviously, like every other tripod, these legs do extend very flat if you want to get down in a prone. I'm not sure why you would do that, but you have that option. I believe this tripod will hold up to 100 pounds, which is honestly kind of ridiculous. I don't know what rifle you're going to have up here that is 100 pounds, but If you do, it'll hold it. Now, Two Vets also makes many other tripods and have many other accessories for those tripods. So if you'd like to check them out, I will leave them down in the description. And again, I thank Two Vets Tripods for sending this out for this video and for me to mess around with. So as you can see, this is my target right here. I have my aiming point in the middle of the A zone, and then I have 1 inch increments all the way from 1 inch to 17 down to the bottom, and then 1 to 13 at the top. I have cones from 5 all the way out to 100, and I'm not gonna bore you with shooting every one of these. I'm just gonna shoot them real quick. I'm gonna mark my targets with my hits, and then we're gonna sit back and we're gonna talk about all of the variations in my hits. Let's start our journey at 5 yards. 12 more to go. Done with 5 yard increments. It is now 10. All right, here's our last shot at 100. Let's go see our results. The administrative. And we're here to check the results. Had to get off the range because it was a tad bit windy. Now, as you can see here, I have the target in front of me, and hopefully I am smart enough to figure out a way to put it on screen so that you can see it. Now, as you can see, I have added 2 other colors, red and black, from a ballistic calculator with the same ammo and the same heights as to what the Eotech would be on the rail and what the Eotech would be with the Unity riser. Red is for the Eotech directly onto the rail, and then the black is with the riser. Now again, I tried to get out as many variables as possible, and what is surprising is the ballistic calculator is actually really close to what the real world results were, with as many variables taken out as possible, aside from the like 20 mile an hour face wind that I had. Now personally, I thought right after shooting all of this that the height over bore was only really going to matter from about your 5 to 30 yard range. But surprisingly, as you can see on the board, that even going up to 100, there was a big difference in the height over bore with the Unity riser and height over bore with the Eotech sitting on the rail. Just coming up here to 100 yards, my actual bullet hole is just over 9 inches. I'd probably say close to 9.5. And then with the actual ballistic calculator, you are just under 9 inches with the Unity riser. Without the riser, with just the Eotech sitting on the rail, your 100 yards is at about 5 inches. That is about a 4-inch difference, again, with my ammo, with my height over bore, with my barrel, all that kind of specifications. That is honestly a very big difference when you're thinking about height over bore and aiming at a single spot between 100 yards with a riser and no riser. Now really, I would say the thing that stands out to me really is the 5 to 30 yard range. There's not a big difference here. I mean, when you're talking 5 yards, there's about an inch difference between riser and no riser. 10 yards, there's a little bit less, probably about close to an inch, maybe a little bit less than an inch. 15 yards, you're looking at maybe half an inch. And then 20 and 25, you're looking very close. Obviously, 25, you're going to be right on your 0 point of aim, point of impact. And then 30 yards is really consistent. I think it's like 0.2 or 0.3 difference in between a height over bore and the Eotech sitting on your rail. It's kind of more when you get to the 40 to 100 that things really start opening up. Now, you can see on here, the 50 yard one I called. The second I broke that shot, the wind kind of twisted the rifle a little bit. And then you can see I kind of brought it back with 60 yards. But then the 70 to 100, I don't really know what happened with that. I might blame it on the wind because I didn't feel much of movement like I did with the 50 yard. And even getting out as many variables as possible, the biggest thing that changed from the actual ballistic calculator's points to my hit were really just my left and right, which I didn't really care about. All I cared about was the up and down. And when you're looking at kind of the 100 to the 40 yard, I don't think there's any points of my hits compared to the ballistic calculator that are more over 1.5 inches. I would say they're closer to an inch in differences, not more than like 1.5 inches. Now, this kind of helps me learn, especially with this ammo and the way that I'm going to be running the gun. Probably not going to be using this ammo specifically, but if I was to use that ammo, having my height over bore and that rifle specifically, my arrow rifle, where my holds are at these distances. 5 to 25, you're looking at about 3 inches. So if I'm aiming dead center, I know depending on what distance I'm at, I'm going to be about 3 yards lower if I'm less than 25 yards. So I know I need to hold a little bit higher. Now, once I get to 30 yards to 100 yards, I know I'm going to have to hold a whole lot lower. Now, when you're talking about way up here at 100 yards, I'm 9 inches above my point of aim, point of impact, 25 yard zero. So I'd have to aim all the way down here, closer to somebody's waist or belt line to hit center mass. Kind of insane when you think about it, that I have to aim so low that it seems like I'm going to be shooting at the ground to hit center mass with that zero. But hopefully you learned something in this video of height over bore. Now again, this is just specific to my rifle, to the ammo that I was using, and to my Eotech on a Unity fast riser. There's going to be so many differences when it comes to your optic, riser, barrel length, ammo, obviously external conditions, your zero. I implore you to go out and check your height over bore situation. So I appreciate you watching. I'm sure I messed something up in this video, so go ahead and let me know down in the comments, and maybe I'll respond to them, or maybe I won't, who knows. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Have you ever wanted to confuse your enemy by aiming at their chest and hitting them in the... God, I can't fucking talk.